And hello everyone. So the last week has been really busy while we were going to New Orleans. I came right back into a doctor's appointment. We had the 4th of July, and then I did the New Orleans wrap-up, which was the last video. Today I need to update a few things. Like, for example, one story I told, it actually happened towards the end of last year, beginning of this year. It was a true crime story, and a few other things that have transpired over the last week while we've been busy. There's even going to be some space stuff in here, so it's going to be an interesting video. I'm inviting all of you to join me. It should be kind of interesting. Hopefully you find it interesting.
What are they for? Better run into the Latin American fence. Here, let me show you. See? Very simple. Indeed. Very simple.
First off, I want to say to everyone, I hope that you had a wonderful 4th of July. We are halfway through with 2020, and as crazy as this year has been, it's remarkable that we've even made it halfway through. Let's cross our fingers that the second half of 2020 won't be near as bad as the first half was. Granted, we're still right in the middle of this whole coronavirus thing. It's still taking over the world right now. If it keeps getting bad, we're gonna be right back in a lockdown like we spent March and April. So hopefully things turn around for the better. To start out this video, back in November of last year, within like 2 days time period, 2 events took place in Montgomery, Alabama. A sheriff was shot and killed, Big John, and a young girl named Anaya Blanchard was taken from a gas station in Auburn, Alabama. And then for some time after, they had search parties, and they finally found her. She had been murdered, okay? They did catch her murderer. His name is Ibrahim Yazid. Well, he's been in jail since they caught him, and because it was a felony arrest, because he is suspected of murder. I don't know if it's a law everywhere or if it's just here, but in those situations, if you're suspected of a felony, they immediately swab your mouth for DNA and they enter you into the system. Well, they did that with him, and they got a hit. So not only is he now charged with the murder of Anaya Blanchard, he is also being charged with what was a cold case. It happened a few years ago, but it had went cold. They had no leads, and he's also being charged with that murder now. This guy's bad news, okay? He at the time that he did this to Anaya, he was out on bond on a kidnapping charge already. So he's bad news. I can't believe they let him out on bond. It's a mess. It really is a mess. Hopefully, though, they throw the book at him for Anaya Blanchard, because what he did to that girl was just brutal. But at any rate, so now Ibrahim Yazid is looking at multiple cases against him for first-degree murder. He'll never get out again. He's going to go away for a long time, and it sounds like that's a good thing. Real quick, today, the other day, I posted to Instagram a picture of me cutting into a watermelon, and the thing about it is, it was a yellow watermelon, and it never crossed my mind, it never dawned on me that, I know they're rare. I rarely find them, and usually I might run across one, maybe two in a year's time. But it never dawned on me that other people may not have ever heard of a yellow watermelon. They may not have ever seen a yellow watermelon. Well, so I went back to the place where I had gotten that yellow watermelon from, and luckily he had another one. So I thought real quick I would cut it open, and those of you who have never seen or heard of a yellow meat watermelon, you can see one with your own eyes. They're very good. They are they seem to be sweeter than the normal watermelon. They're awesome. I love them, and anytime that I can get my hands on a yellow meat watermelon, I get one. I try, or at least I try to anyways, because I mean, they're great. And watermelon's already my favorite fruit anyways. I eat watermelon all the time, but I never thought that people would not know what a yellow one was until I read the comments from that Instagram post. People were like, what is that? I've never seen that before. So we're gonna cut up another one right quick before we move on. I don't know how they can tell the difference when they're growing them, because it just looks like a regular watermelon. As you can see, it's yellow. It tastes like a watermelon. It don't taste any different. It's just yellow, and it seems to be a little sweeter. They're so good. I mean, yeah, it tastes like any other watermelon that you would eat. Like I said, sometimes usually they're a little bit sweeter. It has seeds, but it's just yellow. I don't know why there would be a red one and a yellow one. Again, these are rare to find, so I don't know what is special about them, what makes them yellow, or I don't know. I just don't know. All I do know is that they are really good. So good and sweet. A quick Google search tells me that the reason why they're yellow is because they don't have an ingredient called lycopene, which gives it its red color. Also in that Google search, it says that yellow watermelons actually came first, and then through multi-centuries of crossbreeding and stuff, that yellow ones were first, and the actual red watermelons that we know and love today came after the yellow. You might could order seeds for yellow ones on, maybe you could order them online or something, I don't know, and then plant them in a garden and grow your own yellow watermelon if you've never seen them and you don't have access to one. Again, I only usually run across a yellow one once a year, maybe every other year, and that was why I went ahead and picked up a couple when I did run across them. I was like, oh yes, yellow ones. But if you have never tried one, you're definitely missing out. They're so good and juicy and sweet. Definitely recommend you try to get your hands on one, even if that means you have to grow your own. Try to get one and taste it for yourself. You will not be disappointed. Truth be told, when I started that segment off, it was sold to me as a yellow watermelon, but again, looking at it from the outside, you never really know. So when I sliced into it, I was like, man, I'm just thinking in my head, I'm gonna be really mad if I'm filming this, and it turns out he sold it to me as a yellow watermelon, but it's actually red. But it turned out to be what it was. As you are all very much aware of, I am sure, I am very much into the space programs and stuff like that. And that leads us into the next topic of the video. While we were gone last week, SpaceX launched several different missions, one of their Starlink, and then they also launched the GPS-3 satellite for the United States Space Force.
Nominal parking orbit.
Nominal parking orbit,
Landing
that's
legs
exactly what we
deployed.
want to hear. Landing leg deployment, looks like right down the center.
And
Looks
stage
like
one
a
is
successful
landed.
landing.
Recovery operators move into
I see
procedure
a first
11.100 on
stage,
the
excellent.
TM9.
So that's, we first flew Falcon 9 10 years ago, actually this month. Since then, it's completed 88 missions, and now the most flown operational rocket in the United States.
The United States Space Force I guess, is just updating their GPS systems. So they launched a new satellite, GPS 3, and they used SpaceX to do it. And then shortly thereafter, NASA, who is preparing for their lunar mission, they're planning to go back to the moon. Well, they just unveiled their new spacesuits for the lunar mission, and they look completely different. They articulate at the legs. It's really crazy. Here, I'll show you what they look like.
Let's take a look at the spacesuits of the Artemis generation. So to be clear, Christine is wearing a spacesuit that will fit all of our astronauts when we go to the moon. And we have Dustin Gomert, who is wearing not a spacesuit that we're going to have on the surface of the moon, but on the way to the vicinity of the moon. So these are our spacesuits for the Artemis generation.
They're kind of cool looking, yet they're kind of crazy looking at the same time. I really like the orange jumpsuit. That'll be their in-flight suit. And then they will don the bigger suits, which will be stationed in Artemis somewhere. And they'll wear those while they're out walking on the surface of the moon. And they look like they're right out of a movie. I mean, they look like something that you would see in like 2001: A Space Odyssey or something. They're really crazy.
But particularly in view of some of the other things that have happened, I find them difficult to put out of my mind.
But I am ecstatic that we are moving forward and this is all happening. It's awesome. Even though I just went to the doctor with 3 or 4 videos back now, the way things have fallen, it is that time again. So tomorrow, I'll be in Montgomery again tomorrow. It's time, and I'll have to go see the surgeon again, Dr. Barry. I'm gonna kind of hope that it comes out a little bit different than it did last week, but who knows? You know, I've learned now that when it comes to going to see Dr. Barry, it doesn't matter how I figure it's gonna turn out. It'll probably be the opposite. But with that being said, I am going to end this one now. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. If you're new here, go down and click that subscribe button. Take it a step further and hit that notification bell icon. That way you get notified every time I upload a video. If you want to help support the channel, check out the links down in the description box below. I know a lot of people ask me all the time where they can go for that. Just, there's a drop down box right below. There's links down there. And it's all much appreciated. Thank you all so much. I will see you again tomorrow, the dreaded day of the week where I have to go to the doctor. I hope you all have a great day. Please stay safe and stay healthy. Much love.
Boom, boom, boom.